Driving the ALCAN highway to arrive to Alaska can be a bit of a challenge. So in today's video, I'm going to give you, count them, 12 tips. 12 tips. 12 tips.
12 tips. 12 tips. 12 tips. 12 tips. 12 tips. 12 tips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Tip number 1, bring an extra spare tire. Tip number 2, bring an extra can of gas along with you. Tip number 3, make sure all your paperwork is squared away and ready to go when you're getting to the Canadian border. Tip number 4, make sure that you bring extra water and you bring extra food along. Tip number 5, make sure that you tell somebody when you're going to be across the Canadian border and back into the United States. Tip number 6, make sure you have a current copy of the milepost. Tip number 7, make sure you bring cash or a credit card along with you. Tip number 8, make sure you are ready to just book it through Canada. Tip number 9, if you have a personal dog, you shouldn't need to microchip it or have any tattoo or anything like that on it.
Walter. Okay. No. We're in a... Okay. Stop it. Stop interrupting me. No. Stop interrupting. No, stop. Walter. I told you why we can't go to the park. No, I told you why we can't go to the park. It's closed today because they're spraying for bugs. Do you want to live with creepy crawlers all over?
Tip number 10, make sure that you've reviewed what the Canadians said you can and can't bring in with you, okay?
Where you coming from?
Vermont. But we don't have any pot to declare like at all, so it's like no point even looking.
Papers? Passports.
Oh,
Reason for visiting the States.
I was visiting my friend.
And who are you?
I'm the friend. We were both looking for me, but I was in the car the whole time, so he couldn't find me.
And what's with the smoke?
Hot?
Muffler.
Did you buy any cigarettes?
No, smoking is gross.
Then why do you have so many lighters?
'Cause we really like slow songs at concerts.
I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions, okay? What's 8 times 9?
89.
What's 15% of a $40 bill?
Too much?
How many grams are in an eighth?
3.5.
How many grams are in a quarter ounce?
7.
And how much is an ounce?
This much?
I'm going to have to confiscate that.
Oh man, that's like drug abuse.
Dude, how did you even know we were high?
You told me you drove in from Vermont.
Yeah?
This is the Canadian side.
Tip number 11, make sure that you really stay focused on what the local news is.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Gord LeClaire and Marilee Caruso.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with a developing story. At least 40 people have been killed and several injured in a series of attacks in...
Tip number 12, make sure that if you are driving with a U-Haul, you have everything tied down, like insanely tied down, like there's not going to be any wiggling at all in that trailer if you can possibly avoid it. I really hope this has been useful for you. And if you have any other questions you would like to have answered, by all means, let me know. I want to make sure that this is a channel that is going to serve your best interests and is going to serve you best as you're looking at getting up here.